What's up, everyone? It's Gavin or Tweek.
Oh, what's good? What's good? What's good? It's Marcus or Pink.
What up? What up? It's Charles or Chuck.
What's going on, everyone? You got Matt or Haz coming to you with Tweek for the last time in 2023, which is kind of crazy to say, man. Time flies when you're having fun, and we're always having fun, especially on our Patreon, of course. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon content, patreon.com/tweektalks. This week, we're going to be talking about our favorite things over the year, which we'll talk about a little bit in this episode, but more specifically, who our favorite breakout players are, favorite sets of the year, favorite tournaments of the year, all that good stuff. Game of the year, we're going to be talking about everything, kind of a 2023 year in review around the horn for all of us. So with that being said, hope you guys all had a good Christmas. What's going on, everyone? How are you doing, Charles?
I'm doing great. I was in Hawaii, or I'm still in Hawaii, but yeah, spending Christmas in Hawaii was really fun. Obviously, the weather is amazing, the food's amazing, and I got to hang out with a bunch of friends and family. So had a great time. Had a good Christmas overall. What about you, Pink?
That joint crazy because it's def mad bright in your background. It's
Yeah.
like sun outside. So I
It
looked
is
outside.
sunny.
I was like, "What's going on?" Christmas was pretty cool. So since we moved into our house, this was the first time we hosted for Christmas, which was really interesting.
Oh, wow.
We've learned some lessons about that. It went okay, but shouldn't try to do too many things in one day, and maybe we shouldn't start at 6 p.m. If it's a little late.
What time did you eat? 6 p.m.
Well, okay, so we went to my parents' house at 3, and then we came back, and then people came here at 6. So a long day, but it was cool. And it was Tom's first Christmas, so he got to we got little videos of him unwrapping the gifts or whatever. So that was cool. And then I don't know, just life's been good, chilling, all good stuff. What about you, Has?
I knew it. Yeah, it was really good, man. As always, went to my mom's with my brothers and our girlfriends and wives and all that good stuff. And my mom is like a hell of a cook, baker, all that good stuff. So I gave myself a super cheat day over the holidays, which is really nice because I haven't had one in about 3 months. Put on about 4 pounds overnight, which is super cool. But I'm sure, it'll come right back off. But yeah, it was really good, man. We had a great one. And I'll toss it to my man, Big Gav. Close it out, man. It's Christmas.
Yeah, B and I didn't really have any plans this Christmas. Usually we might do like a little something, but I don't know. Our family situations are all different. There's her family's like far away, all that stuff, and I wasn't sure what the plans were. But we did end up going to see my sister, which was a nice surprise Christmas plan. She cooked for us and hosted us, and it was a really nice, comfortable night, which was a pleasant surprise because B and I weren't sure if we were even going to do anything. We're not really like holiday people, to be honest, when it comes to like gatherings and everything. Like we'll get into the vibe, but that's like about it. So yeah, I had a good time. She had a good time. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
We did watch some good NBA though on Christmas, which was great.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
NBA games,
I
except for the
watched some good
Sixers.
NFL, but
depends on the game, but
especially
Depends.
if you live in Baltimore. True.
Dude, they looked. Sorry, we're not a sports podcast or anything, but I couldn't believe the way they opened the second half. Unreal, bro.
Dude, the way they opened the first quarter, I was like, "Come on!" But then they do the thing they do. I don't know.
They're an elite team, bro. They're looking
What
good.
was everyone's favorite gift they gave or got?
Ooh, good one. Well, since you asked, why don't you? It seems like you have one on your mind since we haven't had any
You're
prep
ready
time.
to go.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I received, but I also gave because my wife and I gave each other a singular gift, a little robot. Yep, and I mentioned that before, but got a little robot for Christmas. It was It's fantastic. It is so great. If you can spare the funds for it, please get one. Oh my gosh! Like they just hop in a little robot, and then they hop out the robot, and it just goes. And eventually, you change the liner. That's it. It's lit.
cool.
Man, I'm old. All right.
Game changer.
That is a great one though, because there are two downsides to having pets as cats, and that's it. Aside from that, they're great. One is the litter box, and the other is they destroy the furniture. So you got half of it solved, which is great.
Oh, they also got a scratch and post, but the litter robot's more important.
All checked off.
There you go. For me, I got my nephew Mario RPG. He's only 5, so he was trying to play through it, and I had to like read the dial or just the text on the screen for him because he can't read quite yet. So that was fun. And then it's a little tough. Some of the harder fights or whatever, he'll ask me to do it and stuff like that. But it was fun just watching him play through Mario RPG. And then we also played some Mario Party too, and it's just funny because he's a 5-year-old. So I used like a poison mushroom on him. He started crying. It was
Charles.
Hey man, I'm trying to win. He would have got to the start, but I didn't do it. It was funny because I used the poison mushroom, which like minuses your roll, and then he just got like really bad rolls. So then he started crying more when he didn't get to the star, and he didn't win. It was funny because my sister was playing too, and then she did this one maneuver where she landed on an unlucky square, and she was like, "Well, if I somehow give Haku is my nephew's name, if she gives Haku like X amount of coins and he can actually get it," and she hit the thing and she actually gave him enough coins for the star, and then he just didn't get to the star and didn't win. So but I definitely ain't going easy on nobody in Mario Party. Sorry. It is what it is. But yeah, it was fun overall, just like the gifts. What was your favorite gift, Gavin, that you either received or gave?
I'll grab it.
Oh dang.
Huh?
Got receipts, bro. Why didn't you show us the litter box, Pink?
Yeah.
So my
I'm just
sister's,
kidding.
I've never seen Marcus make that face before on the show.
my sister's boyfriend is a tattoo artist, and he
You got a tattoo?
No. Jesus.
It's a
I
bicep.
got so hype. I got so hype. I don't know why.
The Tweek Talks tat. Hell yeah.
He painted this for me.
Oh wow, that's nice.
I have it hanging in my bedroom. And
It was a picture of Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong for the audio listeners.
Yeah.
The picture with
my
Diddy
bad.
on a barrel.
It's a painting of Diddy Kong. It's like his Smash Ultimate pose and everything. It's really good. And B got me a Tyrese Maxey jersey, which was very, very nice.
Nice.
W.
Not after yesterday, but
Not
still a nice jersey to
not the
have.
greatest game yesterday. Not very efficient. But
It's tough when you take the MVP off the court, bro. It's tough. That's tough.
just a rough game, you know.
That'll happen.
Jimmy Butler.
What about you?
wasn't either, but
What about you guys?
Yeah, a couple of good ones. Probably my favorite one was okay, good. She's got headphones. My wife's in the kitchen. I don't want to give her too much credit. She got me. We do ornaments for each other every year, and she got me an ornament. It was like a hand kind of like homemade created one from like Etsy or whatever, and it had our house on it. It's like a really nice one, so it has like the year, and we just bought our house this year, so it was really nice. Probably my favorite. There's a lot of favorites I have, but that was probably it. All right, good. She didn't hear. Okay, we're good.
There's a lot of meaning behind it, right? Because obviously,
we always try to one up each other with
off the big
those. Exactly, and then that was a really good one. And then, I'm trying to think. My mom got me this leather-bound book where it has all these all the baseball stadiums in it, and you could get like a checklist to like because I want to go to more baseball stadiums over the next year or two. So it's like a really nice book that has like art and like stuff about the stadiums and all this good stuff, like a cool checklist. So something to look forward to next year, which is cool. I'm trying to think of my favorite one that I gave to. I wasn't ready with this question. It feels like forever ago, weirdly, even though Christmas because we did our Christmas like 2 days ago. Yeah, man, overall, I gotta say it was a good Christmas. It was a great weekend for Smash, and it's a great time to like, comment, and subscribe to Tweek Talks, of course. Last time before the year's over, so make sure you get it in before the new year. Maybe that could be your New Year's resolution. Make sure you click those buttons down there. Give us the engagements. We love doing this podcast every week, and it helps us out. So before we talk about this, dude, we got to talk about Delta just a little bit before we jump back into some more general Smash stuff. Great tournament. I watched with Gavin for a lot of it. It was a lot of fun. I mean, my man Ashimo was there, of course, doing really well. 3rd place. Don't want to talk about the character he lost to and the character he plays together. We're going to ignore that and move over it. So, lost to Bayo. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, he lost to Bayo. At this point, I'm just gonna give it up. That's my thing in 2023. It was a thought I had. It was a neat thought at the time. Experiment's over. Bayo wins. It's all good. All good. I like Bayo too. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst case scenario for you, to be honest.
Bayo, like
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
funny because right when we started talking about the whole Bayo versus Rio thing, Bayo was on the come up, but then all of a sudden, right when we had that discussion, all the Bayos just started popping off even harder, and even to the point where we're kind of questioning Bayo Game and Watch. And I think in this current Smash economy, if your character beats Game and Watch, that is a catastrophic W. I think if you want to win a Smash Major in 2023 slash 20 or I mean in 2023 going into 2024, you probably have to beat you're gonna have to beat Game and Watch, specifically probably me as Game and Watch. And then there's still Meister, right? Meister still is a bracket threat as well. So, and who knows, maybe even more players will pick up Pocket Game and Watch. I know Larry has a very strong opinion, as well as I do. I think Game and Watch is the best pocket character that you can have. And obviously, I don't really want more people picking up Game and Watch, but that is the reality of
You
like,
did it,
the meta,
Charles.
right?
What the heck? You can't be
Yeah.
talking. You play Game
I
and
picked
Watch
up
now.
Bayo at the end of Smash 4. Dude, sometimes you gotta do the grimy shit, man. I mean, it's simple, it's effective. Like you spam Nair and you spam Shield. What other your advantage? It's I don't want to say. I'll say it. It's baby mode advantage state. Just falling up air and then you frame trap. It's like it does so much damage. Falling up air combos into maybe even 2 more up airs if they air dodge the falling up. If you execute Game and Watch correctly, and obviously you still have to be a good player to execute everything perfectly like Mia does, because we've watched it in tournament. Mia on point, advantage state 0 to 100 real quick, maybe even more, maybe even the stock, right? So it's just this character is very simple, very effective, and even another plus is it's strong on Wi-Fi too, so you can practice all the things that you're going to do offline on Wi-Fi. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a really good pocket character, and even things like I think Game & Watch sometimes can struggle to get the KO in a sense where like you advantage state with up air forever, but it doesn't matter because once you get them to like 150, 160, a stray backer will eventually get the KO. A stray like down air off stage usually sends at a really bad angle to get the KO and like to edge guard, but at certain points it's just eventually you're just gonna get the KO, right? So just this character is a threat, and Mia is showing that the level of consistency you can get with this character, and even all the quote unquote bad matchups we thought this character had, I mean, against like sword characters and stuff like that, I still think Game & Watch has pretty respectable range. Like I view him somewhat as a sword character. Your Nair and Bear have pretty good range, and you have a really good burst option. Having a good burst option against mid-range sword characters is like what counteracts their spacing, right? Because they usually set up with like a short hop and then they fall down with the back air. But if you can have like a quick burst option, and Game & Watch's dash attack is one of the better ones in the game. You become very low to the ground. You can anti-air a lot of moves. It's just a really, really good character. So the fact that Bayo can threaten this character, and the Bayo has ways to counteract Bacon at ledge and ways to like bats through up airs and stuff like that, or just Nair combos. It seems like a pretty. I don't know if Bayo wins the matchup, but Bayo has specific outs against things that Game & Watch does against other characters, where other characters feel like they're kind of screwed, right, in those specific scenarios, because aerial ABK isn't the best thing versus Game & Watch, just because Game & Watch is so short. So it's like there's still things that Bayo has to. They have to play the matchup very specific, but you do have specific outs versus very specific tools that Game & Watch has that other characters don't, right?
Yeah, I think we talked about it, Watch the Throne a lot too when we were watching Bloom play. And a lot of it, to me, like the ledge trapping is such a key part of Game & Watch's game plan, especially just neutral B. Like it's so good. It's so good, and it's so difficult for many characters to deal with. Bayo has triple jump, has ways to go above and over the ledge, but also witch time works against it. Like there are a couple of specific things that you can do I think you were on commentary with me for that one, right, Charles? I think we were.
Mm-hmm.
But witch time I think is actually pretty good in the matchup too, which is really nice to say. Like you said, that mid range witch time does cover that, and there are some things she definitely has. She could, the character's light, and he can't get out of her combos necessarily with up B, which he's not used to. So we've seen Game & Watches die to like old school Smash 4 Bayonetta combos. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen that more than any other character. It's really cool to see. You know who else does well against Steve in Game & Watch? Zero Suit Samus does very well against both those
Oh,
characters. She does. She
Yeah.
does. I'm just saying, Mars.
She
I'm
does.
just saying. It's good time to come back and get seated and play against a good Steve or a good Game and Watch. But those characters cook. It's funny too, Charles, because we talked about one question we asked. Maybe was that last year? It's like if there was a brand new player and they're going like 0-2 every week, and we're like you have to make them better just by picking a new character. Who would you tell them to pick?
you
And then we
said
said it
Game
was
and
Game
Watch.
Watch.
Yeah,
Game and Watch for sure. I think
I don't know what I picked, but you might have
It's probably
influenced
Rob,
me.
Pac-Man, Game and Watch, one of those.
If I
Pac-Man's
did
a good
pick
one
Game and
too.
Watch, it's because Has like brought up a lot of good points back then, and I think your statement aged extremely well. That was a really good opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. The thing I was going to say is just I like that Bayo stocks are going up too, and I like that because I think we all enjoyed the character. Well, Charles Spite enjoyed the character in Smash 4, but the three of us liked her.
I still it's like playing against Smash 4 Bayo was very frustrating, but I loved commentating it. The
Yeah.
thing is, when I hate a character, I deep dive. I know more about characters I hate than characters that I love, like borderline. Oh, it's like I know a lot about Fox, and then after that, it's like all the characters I hate.
Yeah.
That's how like
That's
in terms
funny.
of the most knowledge I have, and then after that, it's like meta characters, and then after that, it's like lower mid tiers that like I know the baseline game plan, but not too much details. There's so many freaking characters in Ultimate, right? But yeah, I mean, it was cool. I remember even the first time I commentated with Haz back at what was it, Genesis 5. We got off the mic and Haz was like, "Wow, it was very impressive how much you know about Bayonetta in Smash 4, right?" Because that character was was very bullshit, but had a ton of intricacies, right? It was very complex what you had to do against the Bayo player, and then even the Bayo player reacting to SDI and stuff like that. Less physically taxing on the Bayo player, but still it was there's a lot of intricacies, and I feel like there's maybe even more in Ultimate, or at least around the same level, just reacting to the SDI and stuff like that. Obviously Bayo had more blatant overpowered things like witch time and stuff like that, and witch twist to ledge was pretty toxic. But yeah, I mean, it seems Bayo feels like a healthy spot where if I lose to a Bayo, there is no like if you lose the ultimate Bayo, you should not be complaining. Like it's all you. That's 1,000% you. There's no, to me there's no like jump out bullshit factor, right? Like I can complain if I lose to Steven Game and Watch, like you can see me bitching the whole way through, right? But Bayonetta, I'm not going to be complaining.
Yeah.
She might be my combined mains two worst matchups like together for sure. I have a very hard time. I would rather probably ditto Bayonetta rather than play against her as Richter or Ken. It's really rough for both of them.
Yeah. I
Something
agree.
I noticed when I was watching Grand Finals was when Bayo was on the ledge, they would drop off Witch Twist, and they would actually like straight up go through some of the neutral B from Game & Watch.
Oh, like attack through it. Yeah.
So that's interesting that you can straight out beat those out, and then you have a jump after. I thought that was interesting. That's huge because it's not even about like risking ledge invincibility or like going under the stage or like it sounds like less risky. Like beating something outright is pretty interesting. I don't know if it like how it works specifically or like how many it can beat or like what the Game & Watch does in response, but it's like Haz was saying with the layers of Bale's recovery, like, but that was something I noticed that felt like a big deal. And they were both kind of doing stuff like that to each other at the ledge where like they were trying to read the character specific counterplay to things and like get like greedy openings. Like for example, Game & Watch's ledge animations are really tricky to deal with because they're all so similar. And also he has such great reversal potential that usually it's better to let Game & Watch off the ledge unless you have a crazy disjoint.
Because
So
drop, double jump nair is like so
yeah,
scary, right? Like you're respecting that to the max.
his animations are difficult to deal with, and his reversals, yeah, and like the frame data with them. But so that means the Game Watch player can play pretty greedy a lot of the time, like do like quote unquote greedy ledge options. So the Bale player was trying to like preemptively heel slide the ledge, like just active hitbox that leads to big combos. Like sometimes Mia would not set up Chef to try to read them getting off the ledge instantly, which is something he does regardless. But it was like, that kind of ledge play was there a lot of the time, and a lot of it is because of the character specifics they have versus each other. So I thought that was interesting, and it kind of bounces off what we were already talking about, just a little bit more specific.
Yeah,
Any thoughts on Bayo Pink? I know you're a Bayo enjoyer, at least in Ultimate.
like just like this specific tournament, because I was kind of looking. I watched a lot of the time. I don't even know what I was doing up. Like normally I'm asleep nowadays, but like
I
for
mean,
some
I can tell
reason
you
I
what you're
was up.
doing.
Was I playing
I,
TFT? No, that
I
doesn't
don't
make
know,
sense.
man. I like
You guys
so
need
here,
TF.
here
I do
right
play
here right
TFT
now.
sometimes.
So right now I'm in Hawaii, right? So like 10 to like midnight, I'm maybe playing TFT, right? But if any else on my friends list is on, like Hawaii is 5 hours.
It's me.
Yeah, 5 hours behind East Coast, and I'll see Pink on. I'm like, what the hell? Like it's like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Pink be TFTing, bro.
You're on the
I'm
grind.
on the TFT grind too. It's a very
Yeah,
fun set.
it's weird. I mean, I don't play. It's some days I just wake up like the other day. I went to sleep at like 8 p.m. and then I just woke up at 1 a.m. and I was like, I can't go back to sleep. But I didn't wake up because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Son was just yelling. He just was like, and I was like, you wake up like, what the heck's going on? Like
He
it's the end
sounded
of the
just like
world.
that.
Yeah. So then,
Yeah.
so then I'm just like, bro, I'm kind of up. So that's usually what happens a lot of the time. Yeah, I watched a lot of that tournament, and I don't. I think Gavin's used this word to describe Bale before. I'm not sure, but she just feels very flexible,
Yeah,
and I think I think characters at the top are one of two things. They're either extremely flexible, or they're one thing or two things just so strong it just
yeah,
you can't really do much about it. I think she has some things that are extremely strong, but I think she also has a lot of different game plans to fall back on. And I think one of the biggest things is she can edgeguard characters that most characters can't even dream of edgeguarding.
Jesus, that edge
She
was
can just be
crazy.
out there for so long, throw out so many hitboxes. Um, the way that the Bayonettas recently have been using Witch Twist 2 just to like tap them real quick and do like Witch Twist 2 Nair and then just go back to ledge, and then like, or Witch Twist 2 up air and the up air send sideways and they go back to ledge, and like you have to figure out how to make it back from super deep with no resources, but you're also very low because they probably use Witch Twist to like below the ledge. I don't know, like I just feel like, and I hate saying this because I've said this before. The last time I said this was with Game & Watch, but it feels like Bayonetta almost always has a way to win. Like I don't feel like I look at a Bayonetta matchup and I feel like, oh no, it's just lost. Like I remember when people used to say like Snake was unwinnable, but now they don't even think that anymore. So it's
yeah,
starting to get to the point where it feels like they're figuring out ways to win like pretty much any matchup. And I remember even at the Coinbox Invitational, Lima was saying that he thought that Bayonetta did really well into Steve because being able to go off stage, but also just in disadvantage, like you don't have to deal with Steve. You can just dive kick to the other side of the stage, and we've seen that before, right? Where like Bayonetta's about to land and Steve's like doing the thing, and then they just dive kick, and it makes you second guess. And the same thing was happening against Mia, where he's like trying to do the up air thing, but they just dive kick to the other side of the stage, and it's like, okay, well, that's that. So I don't know. It feels like Bayonetta always has a way to win, and when I say that, I get nervous because I used to be like, bro, swords destroy Game Watch, like Charles said earlier. But then I thought about it, and I was like, but almost all the swords have bad recoveries, and Game Watch is just cheating when it comes to edge guarding. So, dude, like,
yeah.
and they also usually have an awful vertical disadvantage, which is where Game Watch excels. So, is it really like? Is it really that bad? And then Mia pops
Some of
up,
them
and it's like,
definitely
oh,
win, but it's not like
yeah, they're not like that destroying him, you
it's
know.
not a surefire victory either. Like it's only a specific sword, so it's not. So maybe it's better to say like these characters beat Game Watch rather than saying he struggles with swords, because at this point it's
Hmm.
not. I guess like that blanket term isn't exactly correct.
Yeah, it's like how they say Wario struggle with swords, but it's like
Yeah, which
yeah.
it
Ooh, that's a
makes
great
sense at
point.
first, and then like my general thing I would say when it was early Ultimate was like that I didn't think he struggled with swords. I thought, if you want to be general, I thought smaller characters were tougher than swords overall. Like it's
Like
just
when
interesting how
Pikachu
yeah
were popular in early meta of Ultimate, and I remember Gavin having that specific opinion, and I love that you brought that up, Pink, because in the early parts of a meta, I think we felt, especially with Ultimate, we didn't know how balanced the game was. So usually it's like we pick these specific top tiers and then we give them blanket weaknesses. But now that we're 5 years into the game, I feel like a lot of these blanket weaknesses kind of don't apply. And I think Gavin's way of thinking about the game was I think Gavin was always about like 1 to 2 years ahead of the meta in terms of like thinking about it. Like obviously not everything Gavin said back then was correct, but like most of them are. And I know one thing that stuck out to me in the beginning was how Gavin said that Wario didn't lose the swords, and he actually beat Leo's Lucina at Frostbite, one of the first majors, with Wario against the Lucina, and Lucina was very,
yeah
very strong. So
that
I just love that you brought that up
matchup
because
is
it
still
brings
winning to this day. I think still.
right. It's just an interesting topic of like blanket, kind of blanket weaknesses and how we're kind of devolving from that because of how much more knowledge we're getting about the game,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Because for example, like a character I've used a lot is Sephiroth, and Sephiroth doesn't beat Game Watch.
He's got a
But
sword though, man. What are you talking about, bro? That sword long as
Sword
hell.
it's
Swords have
just
changed
interesting.
so much too, though. You know, that like sword is just it's way too
Yeah,
generic at this point. Like it's crazy. It's like a meme about Ultimate. Like it's fucking Ultimate like sword fighting Fire Emblem game basically. It's like yeah,
yeah.
like Roy's a sword character and so is Sephiroth. Like okay, great.
They're
Yeah, like
so
what
different.
does that
Neither of
do?
them beat
Yeah,
Game Watch.
Sora. Yes, exactly. Like what the Sora's that
But
flipping
like
sword gym.
corn and cloud, like those are
Mm,
that's a bit more specifically towards like if you might want to beat Game Watch. So it's interesting. I, s- I like what Charles said. How like we get more specific, right? Like we were
yes,
just talking about how like Zero Suit might
dude.
specifically beat two of these characters. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mars
interesting.
just has to make it to him. That's the hard part, man. Making it to it because there's so many different matchups, right?
I was actually at a local last week, and that was a topic that came up at some point. I think was talking about how I think we were talking about Game & Watch and how tough it is to deal with the advantage state, and you know Zero Suit's down B came up and stuff like that. Like Marcus was talking about dive kick and stuff, and I was trying to talk to them about how monkey flip isn't the same thing in this specific case when it comes to Game & Watch up air.
Yeah.
So that was interesting just for me to separate in my head why some are more useful than others when it comes to escaping Game Watch's advantage state. But yeah, it's crazy because I'm still really stubborn about it. I still don't even want to admit that I think that Game Watch is like one of the best. Uh, I'm always a little late to the party for a couple characters like Game Watch, Rob, stuff like that. Like part of me still thinks that I shouldn't be like losing, but I lose sometimes to them. So I gotta admit it at least a little bit on a personal level. So yeah, like I know what's strong, but I still can't help but think that Game and Watch is more exploitable than like part of me is still on the Aegis mindset than Game and Watch, if that makes sense. Like I think Aegis is a better character than Game and Watch, or something like that. Like the the all arounder, like good at everything. Like I still seem to value that more than the couple options that are so strong you just lose kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
even that's why when it comes to like the Steve discourse, like should he be legal, should he not be, like I tend to lean towards he should be, not only because like as a competitor, like I just like I want to play everyone and I want to be able to beat the best players, like and all that stuff, but part of me still thinks like some of these characters should beat Steve relatively consistently. You know what I mean? So I still have faith in my Smash Bros. It's funny because I had a conversation with Leo about like, we were playing competitively, like getting good at the game at a similar time, and he said he used like a language that I use where he called it like our Smash Bros. Like he said like, oh, I like watching you because it reminds me of like how I view the game, blah blah blah. So like that kind of Smash, I still have faith in it. It's kind of what I've been holding on to. It's been keeping me like wanting to compete and win because it's like I'm playing against a different game, or I'm playing a different game, and I'm trying to like prove to myself that it can still win. So that's interesting. And for the top tiers, especially, it's super easy to compare the differences, like Steve and Game & Watch versus, you know, Joker and Aegis. Like, it's clear like where they lie in terms of the type of characters they are. So
Yeah, just having faith and value in toolbox characters, I think, is your big thing, right? And I think for the most part, most of your career, you've tried to lean towards those types of characters where there's a large array of tools. And if you can weave all those tools in the exact right scenario, they're very, very broken characters, right?
yeah,
But then there's more simplified characters. And I mean, I think we talked about this when we did the episode talking about Corrin and talking about how, like, having going your move sending characters into tumble at 0% is like
yeah,
really really strong, right? And like having a very simplified advantage state, which is like Corrin, Game and Watch, Fox, which are very streamlined. It's very flowchart, right? Oh, you are I launch you, I up air you, you dodge
yeah,
up air, I launch you again. Like
yeah,
all three of those characters do that, right? And it's very simple. And when you're in tournament, you can put all of your mental energy into your neutral to get the opening, and then your advantage state, I won't say it's baby mode, but like it's a little bit more simple, right? Whereas like some of these other characters, you might have to set up certain things, or you might have to like frame trap in a very specific way. You might not have to frame trap at all because you don't really have the capability of frame trapping like the other three characters I mentioned, and you have to get a little bit more creative with your advantage state, which takes a little bit more mental energy. If you're
yeah.
using more mental energy on that, it takes away from the neutral. It's an interesting topic because at the end of the day, humans have limitations, right? And I think that's the main thing you are kind of arguing about when you're talking about this thing. And that's why like Mute Ace, for example, thinks Game & Watch is like top 3, top 5, because Mute Ace puts a lot of
Yeah.
value in not having to strain yourself that much. And you're like, oh, you're Peach, oh, you're Diddy, like do this combo or do all of this tech. And what do you get? Oh, well, like you get this extra movement option. Oh, but like when Steve does all the tech, or when these other characters do all the tech, they get 0 deaths, right? Oh, Kazuya or Steve, like, oh, I nail my tech. Oh, cool, that's a stock, right?
It's kind
And
of
so there's
interesting
values in
how
everything.
you can agree with a statement and then the character's placement on the tier list is so different between you two. Like I can agree with Muteace's line of thinking and we agree on a lot of things and we help each other all the time. But I'm not putting Game & Watch as third best in the game. Like no way.
I think
Which,
Game & Watch
which
is
is crazy because I
so.
lost to Mia every time we've played so far. But I just can't help but hold on to faith that that's on me, bro.
Like
um,
taking responsibility,
I think Game & Watch is so interesting because I think looking at other characters such as like Kazuya or Bayo, where we always knew like this is a late game character, or Steve. Steve was an always kind of character, right?
or
Yeah.
There's
Fox. I
tech.
think we're all believers of Fox. Like even when we first started this podcast during quarantine, like
Sonic.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
Sonic.
Sonic's
These
a
are
good
all
one.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, we had faith in all these characters.
It's interesting because we know that there's more potential, but Game and Watch like started low. Like people did not have a good first opinion of
Very
him.
low.
But then, I played against some Game and Watches. I was like, I don't know, this character feels kind of nice. Maybe I just suck, like whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But then as the game went on, and people realized it's ultimate mash, right? And Game and Watch is really good against people mashing, especially early on in the meta when people weren't even spacing things or fast falling correctly all the time. Game and Watch became good because he was viewed as like anti-meta, right? Like, oh, you want to mash on shield all the time because it's super safe. Well, he gets out of that. But it's not like he got more complex or like gained a ton of things. Like the game just got more solved and he just like gained stocks naturally. Is that he was just like right place, right time, it feels like
He's
type of guy.
he's so weird because he's always been treated like uniquely. Like he's never grouped in with anyone else. Like, and it's always intense reactions too. At the start of the game, like it was like an overreaction, right? Like, oh, he's terrible. Like, oh, like these are different from these Smash games. And I'd also
They
like the
reworked like fair, right? Everyone was like, "Oh,
yeah,
now that the fair's the bomb and you can hit the bomb, he's trash. Like his edge guarding isn't as great, but like
he's
obviously
also
it's still
probably
great."
most of the time a character people aren't going to gravitate towards either. So if they hear like that maybe he's bad, then it might even be exaggerated even more because he's not the most popular guy on the roster. Let's be honest, in terms of like, you know, video game popularity or Smash popularity, like all of that. So like that was intense and exaggerated. And then Meister started doing really well. And then that was also uniquely treated. Like, you know, it was unique to Meister. Game Watch, once again, uniquely treated. And it wasn't treated in a way of like, this is broken the best. Even though Meister was doing so well, it's like, oh, this is just silly and easy. This is our joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's weird how Game Watch has always been treated in a very specific way. The Game Watch players have always been like, a lot of the time you can categorize things, players, like, you know, whether it's skill or characters, play styles, whatever. Like, but Game Watch is by himself forever. like, like people feel a specific way about him and all that stuff. It's just so interesting to me. And right now, it's also like he's viewed as so strong that he might even be in a class of his own, which is so interesting. Like, or at least borderline. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that, and there's just really nothing like it. Whether it's the players or the character, like the way you play against Game & Watch. Like when I'm like getting ready to play Meister or Mia, it feels like I'm, you know, preparing for so long and so specifically because I don't play against anything like it. It's weird.
Bro, I remember the first couple months of Ultimate, right? I was at a Wednesday night fights in SoCal, and there's a SoCal Smash player that goes by the name of Paper, and he plays Game & Watch since Smash 4, right? And I played him in Ultimate with Fox and Wolf, and I was just getting jammed. And I was like, dude, this feels broken, right? Because like I was like, dude, I can mash on everyone else in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I can mash like a lunatic. And this is like early Ultimate, so if you think people are mashing now, dude, first 6 months of Ultimate, people were just holding W and mashing, and it was just a mash off. I would say with most like mid to like high level players. Obviously, the top level players were like maybe a couple years ahead of the meta, and they're like moving around more and stuff like that. But generally, it was pretty aggressive. And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, this character feels strong, but like everyone else says he's bad. So I guess I'm just trash. I don't know the matchup right. Very unique character. You don't get to practice against it often. So I kind of just wrote it off, and I didn't really, I kind of just shared the same.
That sounds like Haz's experience too, where he was like, oh,
yeah.
Like, that's weird. Like, all right, moving on.
Yeah, I ran into like the one game. Same with Sonic, to be honest with you. The way you were describing him, where people were like, well, Sonic's popular, though, is a difference. He obviously has fans. I see all the snapbacks at the tournaments. They clearly exist.
Yeah, a lot of Sonic fans.
Right, and people in the beginning, Sonic sucks. You can't shield cancel spin dash anymore. I'm like, all right, yeah, please keep saying that. Sure, that's great. Like, one less thing for me to deal with. Then I played Bam at Super Smash Con, and he was doing like he was just air dodging out of spin dash, and I was like, oh, well, this is people are gonna find out soon. And they both had weird similar trajectories. Now they're both towards, I'm not gonna say top 5 for Game & Watch, but they're kind of hovering around that area for sure. Like, you could argue that, like, it's not a weird thing to argue, but yeah, it which is weird. I truly think it was hopium too. Like, everyone's like, I hope I don't have to deal with Game & Watch. I hope I don't have to deal with Sonic.
Yeah.
And now it's the end of the game.
Maybe they'll drop them. I keep telling them their character's bad.
Yep, Bayo sucks too, right? That was the thing in the beginning too. To be fair, she got buffed and like that helped.
She got buffed,
yeah, which helped a lot. But still, like a lot of the stuff still would have been there. But she did need that. But yeah,
dude. Apparently, Gimmer made a tweet, and in one of the like alpha builds or beta builds of Ultimate, apparently Game & Watch's up B was frame 2 instead of 3. That's if I remember correctly, one of Gimmer's tweets.
I forgot he's a Game & Watch guy.
I don't know what I expected.
Oh, dude. Gamer's got much Game & Watch tech that he's not going to release into the world because he knows it'll kill the game. Like, he legit knows a lot.
Tell me stuff all the time. Like, yeah, dude, I don't know why the game like 4 years ago. Like, dude, I don't know why the Game & Watches aren't doing this yet. You could do this. You could do like he was the person that came up with like the bomb like unblockable or whatever, where like if you shield the bomb off a
whoa, Pink.
I mean, they know that, or I think that's common knowledge. I'm pretty sure.
Well, we don't. We can make them work for it.
They know.
Yeah,
And,
the
We'll
4D.
spill
Yeah,
all of
they all,
Jimmer's
they all
secrets on.
manipulate like if it explodes on the platform or right next to it. Like it's very tough to do.
Yeah, but
yeah.
he used to tell me, he's like, dude, Game Watch is so broke. Like, I think he's like top 5. He's top tier. I used to be like, bro, what are you talking about? Now I'm like,
Sounds like all of you had
Got
the
his
same
tinfoil hat
experience.
on. You're like, Gimmer, shut up.
well, I used to play against Game Watch a lot, so I thought that Game Watch was like pretty strong, but I didn't think that Game Watch was like,
I'd love to hear your early
I don't
experiences,
know.
Pink, because you probably played
Yeah.
like I know Gamer didn't take Ultimate like super seriously, and there's other Game & Watches in your region as well, right?
Yeah, so
What were your
there
early
was,
experiences with the character?
there was so Gamer played, but Gamer's always been like a super tech guy, so like
Yeah.
mid match, all he can think about is like showing off whatever tech like is.
He's
in
playing
his,
Super Tech Bros.
I go into
Yeah.
that mode sometimes too in a grind session.
Yeah.
Like low key, like look at this, bro. like
Yeah,
I'm not even like
I'm just
my
sitting there. I'm like, bro, like what's going on? But then we also had 2 different Game Watches, Disgaea and Dingus, rest in peace. And Dingus was like I would say he was like the better of the 2, and he performed really well. But I would always play against Game Watch, and the thing is, early Ultimate, I played Zero Suit. So for me, it was
I
like
see.
a much
yeah.
different, it was a much different experience
Nice.
because I was just camping, and then like I didn't have to deal with the ledge stuff. I didn't have to
Yeah.
deal with the stuff. So they were like, "Bro, like this feels so hard," and I was like, "It probably is hard because I'm just pressing the zero button over and over again, and then I just condition you to shield, and then I grab you, and like that's my entire crazy game plan." So I mean, it was much different, but I would watch some characters versus Game Watch, and I would just be like we have a lot of Ridleys in our region, and I would just watch some of them try to get off the ledge,
Oh,
and I remember they would just be like, "Bro, watch this." I'll never forget there was an interaction where I was just watching Dings play a Ridley, and he was just like, "Watch this," as the Ridley grabs the ledge, and he just takes his hand in the air and just mashes B on the controller, and like he's like not even like remotely thinking. And I'm just talking to him. I'm like, "So is there anything they can do about that?" And he's like, "Not really." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, like Ridley's just too big, and some characters are just too large, and you just do it." So I knew that there was some strength to Game Watch. I just didn't understand like
yeah.
the gravity of how strong the character was, and also my perspective was a little skewed because I played Zero Suit.
This kind of
I
makes
see,
me
I
want
see.
to talk about characters because ever since the Zero Suit comment from Haz, I've been thinking, like, okay, maybe that's a character to expect in 2024, and I kind of want to make that a topic right now. Like,
Oh, okay.
what should we expect in terms of
Ooh.
a shift next year, or what should we not expect?
We're gonna
Got
talk
it.
about character stonks.
Easy.
Yeah. I feel
More
like that's
Rob, more Steve, more Game
Agreed.
Watch.
Agreed.
well, yeah. I
Big
just
agree.
like
And
I don't know.
one
There's
more-
a couple things like what should we expect of characters like Roy that people are already like concerned about already. Corrin is seemingly replacing that Fire Emblem spot.
Okay, so around the horn on these.
Wait, let's
characters.
go. Yeah, one at a time.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is good. This is good.
Okay, so
Roy.
the first one was Roy that you brought up, Gavin, right?
Yeah,
So do you,
just
Roy?
something to get started. I don't
Okay,
know.
so
Roy's
Roy,
a good one.
down or up? We can just say down or up. Do you think the stonks are going down or up in
the
2024?
same,
Keep
the
it
same
simple.
maybe.
You're gonna say same. Okay, Has.
I say same too. I think if you're a fan of Roy, nothing scratches the itch like Roy does. If you like that, you're playing Roy, or you're like playing Ken or Terry.
I say down.
Agreed.
See you, Roy.
I think it already
Have
went
fun
down.
getting
I think
fucking edge guarded in 2024, bro.
the
Yeah.
Roy recession already happened, and it's just going to stay the same. Is how I feel about
That's
it.
fair.
Like if you haven't dropped Roy yet, you're going to stick with him.
What was the
let's
next
see.
character, Gavin? You mentioned another character after Roy.
Or
Did I?
Corrin.
Oh, yeah. Corrin.
that's easy.
She's
Yeah, we
probably
can just
gonna
do
keep,
thumbs up or down, or you can do this for same.
she's probably gonna keep rising. She's
Okay.
probably
Corn
gonna
up,
keep
big
rising.
up for sure.
Big up for me as well.
ups.
Big ups.
Damn. I mean, I shouldn't have suggested this because I don't even know.
I can. We talked about Bayo, right? We just talked about Bayo for 20 minutes. so I
Mega
think-
up.
Omega up.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
two
go
thumbs
through-
up. The two thumbs up.
I'm gonna go through a generic thing of characters I think should go up. I don't know if they will, but I hope they
Okay.
do because it makes sense to me.
Also, real quick, I think Bayo's going to stay the same. By the way, same reason as Roy.
I could
Oh, okay.
see Hero going up.
I agree. Throw up.
Good opinion.
Beast
good
mode Paul.
opinion.
Beast mode Paul.
I could see Joker going up. It feels weird saying that.
Oh, I don't.
I could see Joker.
I don't agree. Wait. Everyone else's opinion on Joker. So one character at a time, right? So Haz, what do you think? I think Joker will either stay same or down.
I think stay same or go up is how I feel, but mostly stay same.
I like that.
The weird thing about Joker, this sucks, is that it's like 99% dependent on Leo, so it's like this really weird.
Yeah, maybe it's not as fun if it's like dependent on one person.
Yeah, like Leo kind of, I don't know, like the general public.
Omega's been doing well. Come on.
I know Omega's insane, but it doesn't matter because they're gonna look at Leo not performing well and be like, bro, is Joker really like that? Because yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think down, but Leo's also trying new stuff, so I don't know. But I think down.
All right, yeah, next character.
I have a good one. If you're ready,
go for it. Yeah,
what about Kazuya? Up or down in 2023, 2024?
I think down.
This is tough. Because this depends on if Riddles is motivated.
Yeah, it's a similar thing.
It's similar.
I think
I would hope down.
Okay, if I'm thinking just like how strong the character is, I think up. Mm-hmm. But it really comes because I think Kazuya's fucking insane, but you have to be like a crackhead. Like you have to be like intangible dash, right? Like intangible dash, and then like maybe delay it and be like, oh, he's gonna mash now. Either am I close enough? Electric, but delay the electric. I'm not just mashing because I'm like timing it for something, right? Or another intangible dash and something like the fact that you can move around and be invincible is fucking crazy. That is just insane to me. But like you have to be like you have to be like it's just high mechanics, very high ceiling.
Why do that when I can learn Steve and all the tech though?
I think Steve, Game & Watch, Sonic, like
Game & Watch is going to be
that's the problem.
Next year.
I would think he would go down or be the same.
I guess what's popular right now? Ooh, Sonic. Oh,
yeah. Sonic, Game & Watch. I mean, Game & Watch isn't the end of the world for Kazuya. Weirdly enough.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think Sonic is worse. Sonic is hell on fucking earth.
Yeah, Riddles goes Terry in that one, right? Yeah.
I also think Rob's going to go down.
I think Rob will go down too. Agreed. 100%.
Yeah, I think if Game & Watch and Bayonetta are getting more popular, it's gonna.
Bayonetta, Game & Watch. Whew, that's a tough draw for Rob. Yeah,
getting Bayo too. Yeah, that's
Rob is a hard.
I'm
gonna stay same for Rob. Not up, not down, but I think.
Then what about Game & Watch himself?
Up a lot, tremendously. Probably the biggest increase next year will be Game & Watch.
Yes. It's time to invest into your pocket game.
Secondaries, mains, especially secondaries, though. Agreed.
Yes.
Okay. With myself.
Aegis.
Should go up if players are good.
Yes, it will go up. Yeah, confidently.
Yeah.
Buy. Because Sonic is going up and so is Game & Watch. Buy.
Yes. And if Aegis doesn't go up, the community sucks at the game. So that's my out.
Okay, in that case, Aegis is going down.
Palutena.
Up.
That character sucks,
I think Palu does very well against.
I'm just gonna say the same or something.
I think Palu is worth investing into because
I respect that so much, Charles.
I think Palu is turning into an anti-meta character. That's what I feel like. Like I don't think because
he's not hanging out with me. If she wants to be called that, sure, but I know deep down we are not similar.
You know, stocks are going up for sure.
What?
Samus. For sure going up next.
I was going to ask about like Pac-Man or Olimar, but I don't even know. For both.
Olimar couldn't be worse right now. Olimar couldn't be worse. Yeah. Buzz is literally playing Steve. Myron is playing WoW PvP. I'm very happy for him, but it doesn't help out.
Also, I don't know about Samus.
Olimar's like the kryptonite to Samus, so that's another reason why maybe Samus goes up because
Bayonetta cooks Samus. It's rough. It's brutal.
I love Samus is very annoying to play against, so it brings me joy to my heart that every time a Samus solo Samus player has to go up against specific matchups, it's like, all right, now you have to suffer. Like because there's so many other matchups where like players just it's so hard versus Samus. It's weird. I just feel like there's matchups that Samus does so well in, and you have such a good base plan, but then you have to pay a price for that because then there's like the Bayos, the Olimars, like that you have to play like these like omega unwinnable matchups, right? So there's a price you pay.
I got one. What about Banjo? +1, agree. New Banjo main.
Oh my gosh, going down.
It's going up. It's going up in January. I'll tell you that.
Going up in January.
Definitely up in January.
And then it's going down right after.
Having Banjo, man, I'm gonna say up
hot
because he's so low. He's so low that like it's hard to go lower. Yeah,
honestly,
invest into your penny stocks with that.
True.
I was gonna ask, potentially one of the more interesting ones, to me at least.
Are we
Pikachu.
on the same wave? That's not the same wave at all. Well, it's kind of the same
dude.
wave. You think down? I think it's gonna stay the same.
Up.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
I would like to see up, but I have no idea. You know,
I believe in the character. I don't know if the character. It's hard for me to put the Pikachu in my top 5 anymore. It's like it's so hard.
What about PT?
Sleep.
Forgot that character. Yeah, sleep. Yeah.
That's not an answer.
I wish maybe though. How does he do against Steven?
Steve and Game Watch are the like starters for the conversation.
PT does well.
Does well against one, does not well against the other.
Yeah.
So well against Game & Watch?
No, well against Steve.
Oh, the way. Oh, I forgot.
Ivy specifically does well against Steve, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like, is it really? I don't know. Who knows? We talked about Rob a little bit.
I have a good one. What do you think about? And I think I know the answer. What you guys are going to say, but what about Mario?
I was going to say the same.
Same.
Probably I think it might be slightly down, honestly. Game & Watch
down?
Steve.
If I had to pick up or down, I would pick down.
Game & Watch is just awful to watch him try to play, bro. It's awful. Watching Kurama just get jammed over and over by up B was so hard to watch. Ooh, I have a good one.
What's up?
What do you think about Snake? What do you think about Snake in 2024?
This is a really good one.
This is a good one.
I think Snake goes up.
I think up, dude. I think up.
I'm gonna say up.
Agreed.
All right.
That's a character with a high
something collectively.
Especially with uptick of Bayo. That's a very solid pick.
I just think he's one of those characters that you would think is the opposite. Like he would be more like a Steve or Game Watch in terms of just like overtuned, like deal with this. But he also got that flexibility too. So
he does.
He's just so good. That character is just amazing. Something that was interesting, when I was looking through the list, I was like really crediting the Buzz because I'm not going to say Rosalina is going up. I just think the Buzz is that good.
It's going down because he's dropping her.
Because Rosa's not that good.
Nope.
Like Rosa's all right, but.
Oh, is he going to keep her for Game & Watch? Doesn't she do well against him though?
Apparently, that's Game & Watch's worst matchup.
Well enough to get a W once in a while. I think.
There you go. I think she's worth keeping around. You don't need to. I mean, she's technical though. It's tough.
Yep, that was one of them. Sheik
up.
Giga up.
Sheik up?
Yes.
Oh, you bros. No
Sheik
way.
Out here.
0% chance. We got Web last year, and thank God for that. And that's that's good.
Yeah.
Did you say Shulk?
Definitely. Yeah, Shulk's definitely.
Is he still in this game?
Yeah, I don't know where the baseline is for Shulk, but he's definitely not going up.
I think that's the hard part. It's like, where is he already? We don't know.
0. Bro, it doesn't exist. There's
Shulk? Like
my man Ramses, and that's it.
All right, I just want to hear reactions. Sora,
you already know what it is. Like,
it's gonna stay the same, but I kind of want to see it go up. Honestly,
it could go up, but somebody's playing Banjo. Like, what the heck is going on here?
Min is a very good pick.
I think Min is.
I don't know what to even say about Min.
Since I guess it does. She's pretty boring, but like for people that want to win, I don't understand why they don't play.
Yeah,
me too.
I don't get how. Okay, can we talk about how? Why could the Buzz not figure out Min? You know what I mean? Like, and I know he still plays Min.
He was only picking her in bracket, bro.
And it just baffles my mind.
It was like once or twice a tournament. He was not picking that character as much as his other characters.
Yeah, I just it's so weird to me that it feels like there was this option for the Buzz where it's like, this is the zoner of the game. You have an incredibly huge weakness, but like your on stage space that you control is crazy. And it almost feels like the Buzz kind of stuck, like kept Min Min on the roster, but didn't really commit. And I'm just so curious to why, like, maybe he just didn't enjoy playing the character, but like, yeah, I mean, now he's picking up Steve, right? So it's just crazy to me that, like, when I think about at least the top US players that could really bring this character to show how dangerous this character could be, the Buzz wasn't really down to full commit to this character. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting topic because
Honestly,
if the Buzz is not down to commit, then is this character even worth it? You know what I mean? When it comes to characters that zone, usually the Buzz kind of gravitates towards that and like will try to abuse it, right? So,
strangely enough, Min Min players can be pretty negative about the character.
I don't get it.
You've seen it, right, Marcus? Like, strangely pessimistic about her. So, I mean, maybe he's part of that group. So,
yeah, he just, I don't know. He used to just say he didn't like how it felt when he got hit.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, sure, I guess.
But you have so much range. It's like the compensation is you have so much range that you should not be getting hit.
How much are you getting hit?
I have a couple more.
All right, I'll do it.
Wario.
She's gonna say the same.
Say the same or go down.
I say same.
You got Crepe Soleil this year? Count your lucky stars. That's it.
Wolf.
Oh God.
It's so crazy. Like,
where is my man Wolf, bro? Where is he?
Down?
It's still not footstool up B. It's 2024. Like,
it's Jover, bro.
Sorry. It's very hard for me to put my faith in a Wolf because the amount of work you have to do and for what you get, it's very, very low.
Yeah.
Last one.
What's up?
Yoshi.
Wait.
Yoshi.
Who cares?
Down. Yoshi's
down or stay the same.
The most important. I can't believe Gavin didn't do the most important one.
Who?
Lucario.
Lucario.
Sephiroth's a good one too.
Lucario's weird because I think so highly of the character, but I feel so alone.
He's gonna stay the same.
Probably.
I think Lucario will go up.
No way.
I think he's pretty good.
I didn't even want to say.
I think he's solid. Yeah.
I don't even want
Sephiroth.
I think people sleep on Lucario for sure, but that does not mean I think his stocks are going up.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
No way.
I think his stocks are so low that they will go up. It's like the penny stock scenario.
Yeah.
Like Banjo goes up, but it's like it's penny stock, so it's whatever.
Like, bro, imagine you're playing Lucario and Game & Watch is just up airing you and neutral airing you, and then you're at 170 and you just press F smash when they're at 20.
Well, here's the issue. You have to get back onto the stage.
That's easy. You just
I know that Game
from
Watch
anywhere.
attack be hitting Lucario's up B.
It's true.
Over and over.
Yeah.
I guess that about does it for that.
Wait, Sephiroth. Nope, you're not dodging
Sephiroth, yeah, that's an easy answer. That's why.
Omega down. Down.
Bro.
Bad character. Trash.
You're playing him less. I don't even think Ned has Sephiroth in his Twitter bio anymore. I don't think. I don't know. Not looking good.
Not in the bio. Yo.
He was never in my bio. See it, Jim.
I don't think you put characters in your bio.
Yeah,
I do. Do any of us do that? I probably did at one point.
You probably had
Ken rules or Belmont rules in my profile. I'd be surprised. I don't. Okay, good. I do have the Italian flag though. Can I try something? Because I want to continue to try to say Japanese players' names so I get better at it. And I wanted to congratulate the Bayo player for doing really well. And this is from Watch's Twitter. I might need an edit here. We'll see.
Go for it.
It's TamaP Daifuku, I think, the Bayo player. So I tried my best. And what I appreciate about Watch is on this, someone replied to Watch saying this is how you pronounce this player's tag. And someone said, don't expect Americans to be able to pronounce foreign names properly. And Watch wrote, Japanese can't pronounce overseas name correctly either. What a guy, dude. Like, what a guy. Like, come on. We're all in this together. Yeah, like, I'm trying, bro. We're all trying to make it work. But I do want to get better at that. Speaking of that, we got New Year's resolutions coming up. I brought up in the last episode, something I would like to do as we close out this episode is I'll go around and say something we're proud of this year that we did and something we're looking forward to continue improving in 2024, because I think we all collectively as a group have succeeded very well at a lot of things and did really well, but there's always room for improvement. So I think an easy way to start that with is Marcus, to be honest with you.
I was like, what? Like in life or in like?
Yeah, both. Yeah, let it go, man.
Bro.
Well, Charles was texting and Gavin was looking at me, so it had to be you.
No. I was just thinking like, there's the two obvious ones, right? Like, dad, family man, and bought a house. Like, it's lit.
Those are very big deals.
I know, right?
Like huge.
I feel like that's not like
larger than anything else we're gonna say.
I mean, has also got a house.
My fault. Yeah, that's the smaller one of the two for sure.
You win.
Yeah. And I feel like that's cheating. Like, you know, like, that's not fair. Like, yeah, man, I'm a dad now. It's lit. You're gonna have to come back to me. Yep.
Okay.
All right, Charles, hit it.
For my 2024, I mean, I was gonna make a tweet about it, but I guess I'll announce it here. But I am planning on moving back to Hawaii to take care of my mom. So 2024 is gonna look very different for me. I'm still going to come out to a bunch of events as much as possible. Like, obviously, I'll have to come out to less because I'll have a lot of work to do here. So I'm gonna come back, take care of my mom, do more construction work and stuff like that. I'm still going to be involved with the Smash scene, obviously do this podcast weekly and stuff like that. A lot of the work I do with Smash is remote, but I still want to come out to all the big events and stuff like that. So for me, 2024 is going to be a really big change, but I'm still looking forward to it. It's going to be a new chapter in my life. And, you know, obviously moving back to Hawaii, it's like Hawaii's a very beautiful place to live. So definitely can't complain.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I remember we talked about that, Charles, and it was something it wasn't a decision you made lightly and you thought about it a lot. And I'm happy. Like, obviously no solution was going to feel perfect, but in terms of what you were handling or working with, I'm happy that you feel good with the decision you made and that you're happy with what you're doing and pushing forward with. So, and happy I have a place to visit, an excuse to come to Hawaii myself. So
come through.
You should have
Pokemon Worlds will be in Hawaii this year, so I definitely want people to come through for that. That's going to be dope. And I don't
watch them unite,
plane ticket to get there. Oh yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, let's get it.
All right, Marcus, you ready now or no? Are you still cooking?
How's it me again? What the heck? Like, no, I'm joking.
You said come back.
I know I meant later,
but he needed more time.
It kills me on Lights Out when Phil talks like that. Oh my god, dude! It gets me it's so stupid, but it gets me every time. Anyway.
Okay, so something that I was proud of earlier in 2023, like I call it the pre-psalm, which is like before May 30th. So almost literally the first half of 2023. As I was actually like uploading content pretty consistently. It's a lot harder now. And I wouldn't even say it's a lot harder. No, it's a lot harder. What am I talking about?
Definitely a lot harder.
That would just be a lie to say it's not a lot harder. But I think now that I've moved, and like I'm getting settled into the house and settled into like routines and stuff, I'll be able to get back into it, which is something I'm really looking forward to in 2024. Just because I think that I can make some pretty interesting and unique things, and I have so many ideas in my head. I just spend my time playing TFT like an idiot. But that is also something that I wanted to look into, because I actually already decided my word for 2024, which is super interesting. I was in the shower the other day and it just popped into my head. I'll spoil it. I wasn't going to spoil it because I was going to spoil it or say it in the YouTube video, but it's embrace, because I think that a lot of times, not just me, but people in general don't like embrace truly who they are as a person. And I know that I feel like I don't do that very often. And I should also embrace the like gifts and abilities that I've been given. And I definitely believe in my ability to make like solid content. And also, there's another half of why it's there's a lot of reasons, but the other half is that I feel like as a father, I should like embrace the people I love more often. So it also helps with like me focusing on like my relationships and stuff. And goals for 2024.
There you go.
That was really good. That was really thoughtful.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I guess I'll go next because we have to close with Gavin. Because we do, right?
We do.
It's his podcast. I think this was a year. If we're gonna pick one word for me, it was about balance. Figuring out how to buy a house, move into it, how to do all these new responsibilities and shit that I'm in charge of now, including being a landlord as well. It's just been a lot going on, and how do I stay connected to the things and the people I really care about? So it's one thing in 2024 I'm trying to do is that, and on top of it, I have been doing in terms of balance a lot of exercise and diet stuff, and I finally found something that really works for me. Shout out to Mezio, who's a personal trainer in the Smash community that I work with, who helped me come up with a couple solutions. Because after Summit, I worked really hard to like look good for Summit, and then after that, it all just fell apart. I just like hit a rut and like just didn't care. I'm tired of having these like extremes up and down when it comes to my health and my weight. And right now, it's a good swing, so that's great. But I don't want it to swing so extremely back the other way. So that's my balance in terms of that is continuing to stay healthy and caring about my health and prioritizing it and doing a good job with that. So it was a big one this year for sure. And I think I found something that really works for me. I'm hoping it works long term, but I'm good at finding solutions that work short term and then they just fall apart. So I'm hoping I can find something that works a little bit better long term and keep that balance going with kind of everything, family, home, Smash, work, all that shit. So that's my, if I'm stealing Marcus's thing, that would definitely be my word that applies to many different aspects of my life. All right, Gavin, hit it.
So for this year, I don't know, a lot happened. As I'm getting older, things like Crohn's like naturally gets worse, but I feel like I've been taking better care of that. Like just, being an adult about it. I was dealing with like tendonitis symptoms and I immediately went to physical therapy for it and stuff. So I was kind of proud of that. Like just, being proactive and productive in my life. I played a bunch of single player games, which was cool. I just felt very well rounded. Where usually in my life I feel like I'm doing one or two things, and one of those two things is Smash, and I just go all out and like just jeopardize my mental and my health and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of proud of being myself is what I was trying to come up with when I was being asked about this or when Has suggested this topic. I was thinking about it like the last few days where it just feels like if I could pick one thing to be proud of as a person, it feels like if there's anything I'm going to do, I'm going to do things my way. I feel like that's how I've always been. And to be honest, I'm proud of that, whether it's Smash or in life. It feels like if I want to do something, I really dedicate myself to it and push myself. And I don't know, I'm just proud of that, and I plan to continue doing that.
Well said, man. Well said.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate you,
even
bro.
your new like I know you've started up a new diet and stuff for like your Crohn's too. So
Yeah.
hopefully you can keep consistent with that in 2024 as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah, I went to a local and I felt, good like energy wise after the fact and all that stuff. Just I don't know. Like I said, I just want to keep it well rounded and balanced moving forward because I live with my girlfriend. I have pets and stuff, and it feels like I bounce back faster as I get older from like just like rough tournaments or stuff like that. Because sometimes it takes me a few days to get productive, but I also have the podcast. Like I just have so much around me that can help me stay motivated and like stay like balanced, well rounded, however you want to word it. It just feels like I bounce back quickly from things, which is not something I would have ever expected, to be honest. So I definitely can be proud of that, I guess, in some way.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I guess that about does it. Last episode of 2023 feels really strange to say that. Every time I keep saying it's about to be 2024 to be, she tells me to shut up. So, And yeah, we're gonna move on to the Patreon content. It's gonna be a similar vibe. We're gonna be talking about our favorite tournaments, favorite games we played, just stuff like that. Thank you so much for supporting the show in any way, and yeah, hope y'all had a good 2023.